For most, if not all, of my YouTube career, I have gambled with the idea of making a talking video with topics that are not too esoteric for the common viewer to consume. Most of my videos so far have been heavily inspired by the one and only Casual TF2. And the videos range between what consciousness or reality is, shitty low effort TF2 content, some jokes here and there, and more. But truth be told, Casual TF2 encouraged me to become more vulnerable with the creative impulses and actually create something physical that can manifest a physical form that I can be proud of. And that is how this channel started in the first place. That is how this video is being created. Back last year, when I first started this channel, I was in a similar situation that I am now. I knew intuitively that I would never amount to anything more than to this just being a hobby, a medium in which I could divulge certain aspects of my mental bastion, and that it would never reach horizons greater than maybe a couple of friends. But that's completely okay. And the videos, they remain in the public eye, and they're not privated because there's still this hope clinging and chanting in the back of my head that maybe one day the videos will reach an audience beyond my current purview. Now, growing up in the age of YouTube, it is fair to say that it has always been a desperately unattainable dream of mine to create videos for the masses. The prospect of being famous was never one that appealed to me purely for the sake of being famous, but solely to be understood as a human being, or at the very least feel as though I had an impact on somebody else without even having to make direct conversation with them. In the past, I've received negative comments that were not constructive whatsoever, and that discouraged me a little bit, if I'm being honest here. I was not making content through the assumption that I would be bound to the concept of correctness, but rather it was a way for me to communicate in ways that words simply could not reach or replicate. I was essentially channeling my inner subconscious feelings into something that I was proud to create. And whenever somebody would detest or devalue that creation of mine, it would feel as though they were insinuating a part of me was wrong or incorrect, and my feelings and sentiments were unjust, although they had happened just as righteously as anything else happens in the universe. One might say, if that's the case, then why release these videos to the public? Shouldn't making them for my own viewership be enough, if only to nourish a creative impulse? Well, simple answer, no. You see, the viewer, you have a purpose. Because in the past, I never knew that sensation of being understood as a person, even if just marginally. The more I think about it, the more I begin to sympathize with the lonely hopelessness of my past. Whenever I would interact with somebody, I would, without much choice, feel this interpersonal displacement because I was operating at a different level than them, at another level of understanding. For much of my youth, if not all, it was always because I am the more intelligent one. People don't understand my perspectives because they don't have the wits or something along those lines. I was tapped into this egotistical mindset because that's what schools at the time wanted to incentivize. Pride in oneself, pride in identity, pride in even aloneness, pride in anything. But as time went on, that thought process began to unravel and become something more comprehensive, at least to my eyes, as in a maturing mind. Basically, what is pride if there is no basis for it? If there is no self for which pride can append itself to? Like always, things changed. I was able to censor these self-destructive thoughts. Instead of being driven by my own narcissistic demeanor, it became, they don't understand because they don't have the capacity to yet hear. And they don't have this capacity to hear because they have yet to access that realm of experience through exposure. Exposure to life's turmoils or pleasures. This thought process, by association, made me feel less alone, actually, because even though people didn't have the necessary mental faculties to actually understand me at a fundamental level, they soon would, right? It's possible. And that compendious possibility made me cling to a hope that I would never see. I say never see, but why? Why would I never see? Because how could I know that I am being understood if I don't even understand myself? By sheer feeling alone? Like, how is one able to make these conjectures in any meaningful way if they arise from pure sentiment? Which by all definitions in chemistry universally define meaning. So, with time, I agree from it. Words have power, of course, as I need words to say that, but they only have power insofar as your brain permits them to have power. The comments people made only became an accessory to a larger purpose, a larger meaning. Whenever you do something, anything, you're constantly reinforcing in your mind that you are capable of doing something. In the same way that I am moving my lips right now, I realize that I am capable of speaking, capable of communicating. This in turn delivers some sort of positive reaction to my brain, thinking, I can do this. These words make sense, this all makes sense, allows me to feel as though I'm in control of my destiny. This tinge of control is essential when it comes to deconstructing the why for why I make content. When I start recording inside TF2, inside the TF2 universe, and eventually stop and opening the editing software, I just go crazy. I'm sorry, casual TF2, but I enjoy editing. The process of editing, even though it's grueling and gruesome and just, it's a hardship that one must bear when it comes to content creation. But I enjoy it. I enjoy it for my own reasons, because when I'm fully immersed in the software, I have the ability to develop my own little universe, specifically pendered to me, where I'm the creator of my own ways, where I can edit everything down to the single pixel. I can create a reality I see fit to my expression. Basically, I can do anything that fits within the domain of human experience. When most people feel a desire to make videos, or anything really, or complete anything in a world of possibility, the desire isn't actually the creating process, but rather the promise of having already done it. Do you get what I mean? When somebody wants to write a song, for example, hypothetically, whether it be through the desire to accrue monetary entitlement or simply express themselves, they want the completed product. They want it to be done with, the feeling of having done it, accomplished it. They want to be finished so they can get on with their lives and continue that cycle of fulfillment. But for me personally, there's something else entirely within that prospect of creation. In the small amount of time in which I'm fully engrossed in the editing software, nothing else matters. The external world, nothing else makes sense or has to make sense besides the thing I am creating. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of creation.